Hi, welcome to my craft room. My name is Donna, and this is another episode of hats. I got all that yarn, and I promised to turn them into hats, and I've got most of it completed. The reason I haven't put out a video in a couple weeks is because I've been sick. It was not COVID, it was just a horrible, awful head cold. The only reason I couldn't breathe is because my head was just tight with congestion. I had to breathe through my mouth, and it was awful. But I felt a little bit better last week, but I have the chronic fatigue, and I was just still too tired. In fact, today is my first day back in my craft room, officially. When I got sick, I decided I didn't want to get my yarn sick, because I do mostly craft for charity. So I just stayed out of this room till I was over it. Let's jump into the hats. I had that pretty ombre or striped blue yarn, so I really like that, the way it come out. And then the next one was just as cool. Now I believe this was the ombre, and I only had enough for this right here, so I used a different yarn to complete that hat. And then that might have been just more stripy, I don't know. Anyway, this is the next blue. I had two balls that was almost exactly the same. There was just a very slight, subtle change right there. And then this one. And then the next ball was this. And this. And this. And I've got a little bit of this ball left. Set it right there. It's gotten this much done so far. I've got a little bit more left. I don't think I'll get a complete hat out of that, and I still have this scheme here that I can use to complete it. And then I've got that year-long challenge going with a hat and scarf. So I still have to tie my tails in. I used that color to go with this scarfie. This was, where'd it go? Charcoal aqua. And there's part of the, I've got a little thing right here. There we go. Now maybe I can see. I'll go ahead and take this off. I gotta tie in my tail. But isn't that pretty? I just really like this scarfie yarn. It's super soft. That goes in with my January yarn. Now I'm just gonna, I got all these hats tied in, but I didn't get none of the next hats I'm going to show tied in. In fact, that's what I'm going to do while I'm uploading this video, is tie in loose ends of hats. There's that one. And this was actually the same ball of yarn did this. Big pooling and little pooling. I think I like this a little bit better, but different people have different tastes. Those I gotta tie in. I've gotta tie in this. It's two different hats, and these pull very similar. Gotta tie those in. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had like 3 balls. Well, 2 big balls and 1 small ball of this. And I believe there's some more of this still at the mission house. So I will get more of that when I turn these in. Now, I did have some yarn. I'm wanting to get rid of my bulky stash. So I have made a couple more scarves. I forget the name of this. It's something puppy, but it's blue. You can see that's purple and that's blue. And I had 2 skeins of that to make that. I'm not sure which what yarn I'm going to use for a hat for that. Probably purple or blue. And then I've got this. There's a scarf and a couple of different hats in there that I've got to get ends tied in as well. That's what I'll be spending most of my day today doing, is tying in ends. And I've got, this is my on-the-go project. I've got this Charisma by Loops and Threads, and this is Ashes, the color of ashes. It's got brown and gray and black, and I'm working on a scarf. I really like the way it's coming out. I've got 2 skeins of this. Well, that much left. So I'm hoping that will make a scarf out of it. Yes, I am ahead on my scarves. So that if at the end of the year, I, sometimes during the year, if I do like this, and 2 weeks out of the month, I couldn't crochet because I was sick. So hopefully, if something like that happens again, I will have scarves already made. And I can just whip together a hat. So hopefully that'll work out for me. And if I'm blessed enough to where I can still make a hat and scarf every week, all the better. Every month, all the better. I'll just have some extra ones, which is cool because it's for charity. Her name escapes me right now, but she's super popular. The Secret Yarnery. I just watched a video for her on the magic knot, and she explains it very well. So I'm going to try to remember to link that in my description box. And I'm recommending for Sandy, my friend Sandy, and my oldest daughter both to watch that tutorial. And if you want to watch it too, if the magic knot has confounded you and you weren't sure how to do it, go ahead and watch that video. It'll really help. It's the knot I use when I'm joining yarn together, especially my scraps. When they're just, little balls, I'll just string them all together using the magic knot. Okay, I think that is it for today. I hope, sorry about the noise, I'm hoping you can't hear it. Pawpaw's outside, right outside this window, and he's using some of his tools. It sounds like he's using a grinder right now. He can weld and fabricate with metal. It sounds, excuse me, like that's what he's doing. He was sick too. Bless our hearts, we were just sick together. In fact, my daughter my son-in-law had to go to the store for us because we were completely out of bread. I thought my shirt was on backwards or inside out, but it's not. He had to go to the store and get us bread because we were completely out and we didn't feel like cooking, just making a sandwich. So, thank you, my son. I love you. And for all of you, Remember to be kind to each other, 'cause you never know what somebody else is going through. And continue to love one another and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.